Alright guys, TacticalRab here today, and I hit 10k about a week ago here, so I thought it's time to do the Q&A. Sorry for my face being so big, but I thought this is the way the video worked best. I'm going to go through some of your guys' questions today. Well, ideally I'll get through the whole lot. Some of them obviously were very similar, so I'll probably just choose one out of, say I got 4 of the same question, I'll just choose one of those. So hopefully you guys get your questions answered. I'll probably do part 2 of this next weekend, because I'm pretty busy next weekend, so at least this will be a pre-recorded video, and there were so many questions. So thank you guys for sending them all in and commenting them down below. Very interesting indeed. We're going to go through, well, about half of them today. Like if you enjoy, subscribe if you're new as always, and yeah, thanks for all the support. 10,000 subscribers was a milestone I did not expect to reach by any means, and we've got here in about 6 months or so since I started uploading videos, so, well, I can't thank you guys enough. Hopefully we can keep on growing into the future, and yeah, thanks for all the support. So let's crack on right on with it. So Lente asks, which Call of Duty game is the best in your opinion? Now, I've probably got to say Black Ops 2. It's close for me between Black Ops 3 and Black Ops 2 in terms of my favourite one. In terms of the best for overall, I'd probably say it's between Black Ops 1 and Black Ops 2 actually. Black Ops 2 probably gets it for me. I thought the zombies was good, the multiplayer was spectacular. In addition to the competitive side of things, it's got to be the best overall. I think Black Ops 3 I had more fun on. Black Ops 2 there was more annoying stuff. But yeah, Black Ops 3 probably more fun, but in terms of the best, I'd say Black Ops 2. Slither Down asks whether it's possible for players to form some kind of players union. Now I know that Scoots, I think, Sir Scoots has set a similar thing up in CSGO with the help of the community. Maybe Call of Duty isn't quite mature enough yet for that, but I think, well, hopefully when franchising comes around, this will be more of a precedent for the players to try and explore. I think you're right about that. The Midnight situation could have been avoided with some sort of players union. I think it's something that Call of Duty ideally needs, especially in a franchise system, to give the players some kind of extra protection. I think it will happen eventually, but not quite yet. Ian Dundas asks, what ethnicity are you? So he's Canadian, very nice. I guess I'm just like English or whatever the hell you want to say that. I know I do have some like Northern European blood, and I think I'm something like 1% Nigerian, because my granddad did like a DNA test, but yeah, I can't say too much more than that. Sergio Dominguez asks, if you were to create an org, what would you name it? Shot City Incorporated, baby. That's just been the name of our GB team for a while, so yeah, I'm no more creative than that. Griffy says, Q&A, best sub, best AR, and best sniper at the current time in Black Ops 4. Best sub, I'd probably go Hook. It's a difficult one at the current time. There's a lot of obviously good players right now. I'd probably say Hook over his performance in the Pro League. Of course, we've seen Dylan have a fantastic event on Reciprocity, but probably Hook right now. Best assault rifle in terms of main AR, I think you have to say Octane on current form. Fort Worth was fantastic for him. If you want someone to put an AR, an ICR in their hands and perform, it's got to be Octane. Sniper's a difficult one. You could make an argument for Nagafen, you can make an argument for Dashi. I'd probably say Lucky has got to be up there. I really enjoy watching him snipe. He seems to never miss a sniper, so I'm going to say Lucky from Heretics. Sam Taylor says, who's your favourite team, your favourite player? Who do you think the GOAT is, and what is your favourite COD? So I dealt with favourite COD being Black Ops 3. My favourite team is probably Reciprocity right now. I love the content they're coming out with. I obviously want to support some people from the UK, and I think those guys on Reciprocity are slightly more down to earth than the guys on Red Reserve. So yeah, I like the Reciprocity team. In terms of favourite player, it's probably a player on that squad. A guy like, maybe I'd even say Zed, or a guy like Tommy, I think is so respectable. He's probably up there with my favourite players. As for the GOAT, it's pretty clearly between Crimsix and Karma, I think. I would favour Crimsix just in terms of individual ability. I think that Crimsix has been better for longer in terms of, you know, slaying power and the like, and I don't value champs too highly. I value them pretty highly, but 3 champs to 2 champs with all the extra championships that Crimsix has with, you know, a lot of different players, I guess I could say Crimsix for this one, but it's definitely close. Big Bill Bernard Buckley asks several questions here. I'll go through the first 2 in this video, maybe the rest of them in the next one. If your life depended on it, which team would you choose to join to lift the Call of Duty Global Championship? If you do not win, you die. I'd join whatever team Gunless is on. I think he could carry me through. If a murderer came into your house, which weapon would you choose to prevent the murderer from ending your existence? There's this massive like cooking pot that I've got, like a really heavy stainless steel thing, and it's got some handles on it, so I'm pretty sure if the guy came in, I could smack him over the head with that, knock him clean out. Jack asks, who's the worst team in the league right now? I think you've probably got to say Midnight on their form at Fort Worth. They were really atrocious. They only won 2 maps. Will Luminosity be as good once everyone understands the Rampart meta? I think on their performance at Fort Worth, they will definitely still be a very good team. I think that maybe other teams will start using the Rampart a little bit more. Maybe it will get Gentleman's Agreemented, which is, you know, something up in the air right now. The way they played as a team, though, was much, much better. Of course, Classic having a 1.2 rather than a 0.8 with the Rampart in hand really did help them out. But as they played as a team, they were definitely much better. And yeah, probably the best team in the game right now on that form, at least they showed at Vegas, especially if the Rampart meta stays as it is at the current time. I think they won't be as dominant as they were at this event, but they'll definitely still be a very contending team if they continue to perform as they did. Most underrated team, I'd probably say Denial. I really think they have the potential to mix it up with some of the best teams in the game. We've seen they've gone some really close series against Splice, who are probably the second or third best team of the game, depending on how you look at it right now. So I think Denial have got to be up there. 100 Thieves Control, they went 4-4 in it at Fort Worth. I think a lot of teams probably looked into their control, because typically they've been a very good team on that game mode since the start of the game, so I don't think it was bad by any means. My favourite COD event of all time has to be CWL Birmingham last year, which I attended. It was absolutely spectacular, fantastic weekend. If you guys aren't coming to London, I'd highly recommend trying to find the time and money to do so, because Birmingham was unbelievably good fun. There was so many things going on. I was refereeing some of the games, and yeah, the fact that Splice got into the finals, the chants were just spectacular. Hopefully we get the same thing again. That was the only LAN I've ever attended, by the way. So this question from Dan Manchi, I got a fair bit. What is your COD dream team? So taking into account chemistry and roles and that. Firstly, I'd fill out my first 3 spots with like the most talented players. I'd put Gunless there, I'd put Hook there, and I'd put Dashi there, of course. So I'd have Gunless and Dashi on my Maddoxes. I'd have Hook on the Sorg. I think I'd have Priester as my 4th. Maybe Temp you could say, but I think the Priest is probably a better Sorg, and Temp runs the Maddox a fair bit more. And also in terms of chemistry, I'd prefer to have a guy like Priester on my team who's probably not going to cause any issues in that regard. Then I have to put an ICR on the team. Octane is probably the best one right now, as I talked about. Arguably, I could put Crim6 on that team as well, though. In terms of a leader figure, a guy who knows how to win, I think that would be my dream team. Hook, Dashi, Crim6, Gunless, and Priester. Mattman says, what do you study at university? I study at the University of Bath in the UK, and I study management. So it's like business management, but there's a load of different modules. You get to choose the way you go. So I do a bit of marketing, bit of like finance. We've done accounting, we've done economics. So it's a very good course. I highly recommend it if you're in the UK and you're thinking of something to go. You want something that can guarantee to get you a job and you don't want to be too specific in what you do. Management is definitely a course you can consider. Chris Bruno says, favourite team overall. I already discussed that being Reciprocity. Favourite NA team? I think it would be the team that Aches is on. So at the current time, it's going to be Envy. I really like Beryl's as a guy. I think he's very sound as well. I like the other guys on the Envy team as well. I think Patrick Price is just such a legend that, yeah, I pretty much support. I like to see Aches do well. Bryson Kant says, what's your favourite moment ever in COD history? I'll have to say at CWL Birmingham, Optic Gaming versus Splice. It came down to a Game 5 round 11, and I really wanted Splice to win because there was a load of UK fans there who were supporting Splice, like including me, and then there was, you know, loads of Optic fans as well, as I'm sure there would be. Now in the States, it wouldn't be 50-50 by any means, but here it was 50-50, and I really wanted Splice to win so that we could see them play against Rise on the main stage, and if Optic had gone through, it would have been a little bit of a letdown for European Call of Duty. So that was definitely my favourite moment. Because I was doing some volunteering and some refereeing at that event, I was able to be behind the stage. I might put the video up on screen here that I took at the time. Momo was right there as well, taking the video as well. So I was behind the camera, like behind through the screen. I could see all the Splice guys, and they won the Game 5 round 11. Bant's got a 2-piece with his fighter pilot. He went like 16-6 or something to win in the series. Would I ever stream? This isn't a good question right now. Like, I'm a university, of course, studying alongside making these videos, so it's difficult to find the time. And when I play games and stuff, like when I kind of just prefer to chill rather than thinking about streaming, so probably not for the time being, but we'll see. If you want to join the Discord, by the way, the link is in the description box below. Aston Naidu, hopefully I pronounced that right. He says, I played tens many times. Sometimes we don't know how to set up in a hill. How should players set up in a hill according to their roles? It depends on what weapons, what the particular hill is. Generally, I think the meta has shifted in Call of Duty over the last couple of years to the fact that you have your assault rifles in the hill holding down the lanes, and then you have your SMGs pushing it out, which didn't really tend to be how it used to be always, but that's how it works right now. So depending on what hill, generally you want the SMGs pushing out each side, and you want your ICR ideally in the hill just mowing down people from side to side. Depends on the hill though. Sometimes you might want your ICR all the way in the back of the map, especially on say the Lambo hill on Hacienda. That may be the way to go. Rocky Belay says, what are your top 10 players of all time? So not in order, I'm just going to rattle through them. Crim6, Karma, Scump, JCap, Clayster, Aches, Slasher, John, Formal, and the last one I'd probably say like Apathy with the 2 champs, or maybe TP, something like that. Actually, if the current players to be in the top 10, I'm going to swap out Apathy for Gunless for sure. I think Gunless has to be solidified now as a top 10 player, especially with this event victory, and he's been a top 10 player, or he's been the best player in the game at some point in probably the last 3 titles. So yeah, gotta be Gunless is going to get in there. Alex Denny says, do you think FaZe isn't selling any of their players so they can form a squad next year with the same team they had at the start of Black Ops 4? I'd say this is somewhat on their radar. I think they're trying to get a franchise spot for next year, and holding on to the players means that they don't have to reacquire people next season for sure. Dylan, I would say, is the best European player after Fort Worth. Zero's up there. Jerd has done well as well, but I think on current form, you got to say Dylan, especially after that Fort Worth performance. So much impact. 100 Thieves, I'm not sure how they would have done against Reciprocity. I think it's impossible to say whether they would have won or not, because Reciprocity were playing really well, so I can't say they would have done any better than 4th guaranteed, but I would have probably taken 100 Thieves as favourites in that series. The Envy roster's pretty decent, man, but I'm not sure where the leadership's coming from. Blunders says, the first COD game you played, that would have been Black Ops 1, all the way back when I was 11. Revolved Ronin says, if you could play on any competitive team, which one would you play on? I think I would say, I don't know, like Envy or something like that. Playing with Aches would be kind of legendary, but it's an interesting question. Jonathan Thompson, most overrated and underrated pro player. It's difficult to say overrated, to be honest. I'm not sure about that one. Maybe you could say a guy like Parasite. I don't know. The community seems to gas him up a lot, but really hasn't had the, at least the placings in the last couple of years to back it up. Underrated, I'd probably say a guy like Looney, I think, has been historically underrated. People always say he gets carried to his titles, but he keeps on winning them and making finals. And then I guess Slacked as well, you could say, especially, he's been a very solid player, honestly, the last couple of years, but he always seems to get a lot of hate. Broken Symmetry requests a dorm room tour, so why not?
Alright, so here we go, bit of a room tour. Sorry for the bad quality, like it's on my phone, I can't really do much better than this. So this is the setup, this is where the magic happens, it all goes on this laptop, and yeah, got everything connected. This is the TV, this is the blue snowball microphone that I have sitting next to me, and then this is the PS4 down here. My cable management is quality, the controller and everything. And then you've got the HP source just in case you need it. Over here we've got the wardrobe, we've got the Rab t-shirt. That's unfortunately not my own merch. That's like, there's some outdoor company that are called Rab, so I thought it's pretty cool. And then we got the bed. Like, my room's pretty small, but gets the job done. It's not too bad. This is a window with some people moving around over there. Okay, then there's another laptop I have that I take to uni. We go into the hallway. We find some clothes that are being dried. Over there, there's one of my roommates. There's 4 of us living in this house. One in here as well. They're not here right now though. And then we have the toilet in here. There's your boy in the mirror. Then we have the champion's tail. This is my other roommate. He's playing a League of Legends, dude. There he is, man. That's what I'm talking about. He's got the YouTube channel as well. If you want to go subscribe to this guy, I'll leave him down in the description box below. He plays a League of Legends, best League of Legends player in Bath, so give him the support if you like this game. Then we have the kitchen real quick. Hopefully the camera refocuses. The British flag on the wall, that's what I'm talking about. And yes, this is just the main room. This is where the cooking happens and all that stuff. Looking over the beautiful city of Bath out the window. And then you got a chessboard over here. If you want to send me a chal on like Lee Chess or something, let me know. Actually, you hear the motorbike outside. One quick thing to say. Jesus, a motorbike is loud. Let's try this real quick. This is like mood lighting, so if I press this one, it goes absolutely mental. Maybe we turn the lights off, see if it looks any better or something. I don't know, looks pretty cool. Okay, that's the house tour.
MVP Jones, have you thought of bringing your channel or show to a bigger network on YouTube? I'm not really sure how I would exactly do that. I'm not sure those bigger networks really exist anymore, so hasn't really crossed my mind. Dylan asks, is the consensus in the Euro community still Red Reserve over Reciprocity, or have the Vegas boys overtaken the crown in your scene? Regular good to take him a chip in London. I think Reciprocity have to be the better team right now. I would honestly, I kind of prefer this team even since the start of the year. With Dylan now on the squad, I think you have to say Rec are the better team. They beat Red Reserve, and it was a game 5 nonetheless. Red Reserve are definitely, but Red Reserve have always historically been so good against European teams, so to actually lose probably shows that Rec have got to be the better team right now. Who's the best player to ever come out of Europe? I think I'd say Jerd, especially on the couple of finals that he's gone recently. Of course, he's won the only ever international tournament that we've won, especially on North American soil, on Splice at stage 1 in Infinite Warfare. So yeah, I'd say Jerd. Zero's also got to be up there. Max Stacy, my favourite gun in any Call of Duty. A few years ago, I'd have probably said the M27 from Black Ops 2, which might surprise you. That gun was just gorgeous. I loved using it. It was like absolute laser beam. even though nowadays I might even say the HBR from Advanced Warfare, probably another surprising pick. I really enjoyed using that gun. The last couple of games haven't had as much fun using some of the guns, but for me that gun is pretty legendary. The VMP also has its special place in my heart, the MSMC as well, a lot of guns that I'd consider, but yeah, I'd probably say the HBR. Football World, what a legend. Best COD team to never win an event. I'm probably going to miss a lot of ones here. I might be tempted to say Red Reserve from the World War II season, just recency bias for sure, but they got so close so many times. Ray Martino. Do you think COD will go back to Xbox or stay on PS4 after the contract? It really depends if Xbox decide to try and buy it out or whether Sony will hold on to it. To be honest, COD and PS4 have gone hand in hand for quite a few years now, so I think it will stay on PS4. Connor asks, where did I get my gamertag from? So this is an interesting question. Way back, well, basically I have like a pet rabbit, so it's like the rab came from the rabbit. And then the tactical came from back in Black Ops 1. I think I was watching this guy's videos and he described himself as like the tactical operative or something like that. I thought it was kind of cool. So I kind of combined the two. I've had it for at least a few years now. I started doing YouTube because I saw Thorin doing similar videos to this on his channel, and I decided that given that the beta was coming out in Black Ops 4, I thought I'd give some thoughts on it, and I thought that, you know, Thorin's content could probably be upgraded in terms of how the graphics worked, in terms of he doesn't really put much stuff on screen. If you don't know Thorin, the esports historian, covers, you know, CSGO most prominently, League of Legends as well, other games like that on his channel. He has something like 270,000 subs, so I started doing YouTube just to put some thoughts out on that, and, you know, I just fancied it because it was in the summer and there wasn't much going on. I thought, you know, I'll give it a go. I got into COD because my mate, way back when I was like 11, said that I should really get Black Ops 1 because it was a cool game. So I got it, I played the campaign for a while, and, well, I don't know, I'd never found multiplayer until, I don't know, several months into the game. I was just playing campaign, and multiplayer I was just atrocious at. I'd always just hide in the rooms, I'd put C4 on both doors, and I'd use second chance. So then when someone came in and killed me, I'd go down into second chance, then I could double tap square, blow up the C4, and take both of us out. So I was going for the 1KD. That was my strat way back in the day. Getting into COD esports was more interesting. I think it was my friends. Well, I was making videos on this channel ages ago to do with, like, you know, tactics and stuff, breaking down gameplays, and this guy called Kieran, I think he found me through my channel, and then we started playing Black Ops 2 League play, and what's really cool is we still play game battles today. Those are the couple of guys I play with over from Ireland. I went over to see them last summer, so that's really cool. I'm pretty sure I can credit him for getting me into Call of Duty esports, I guess, playing League play, starting with that, and even though I played League play for a long time, it was a while since I actually got into competitive. Really, it was the start of the Black Ops 3 season, when I'd come home from school and I could see Momo and Machine broadcasting the Black Ops 3 online tournaments. I never really watched the tournaments throughout Advanced Warfare or anything like that, so that's really where I started getting into esports, and then, you know, I've always followed it since then. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I should have got through every single question. A couple of them I will have missed out because I also got answered a similar question before. Maybe I missed a couple, but if I did miss any, then, well, hopefully we'll do a Q&A a little bit further down the line, maybe a few thousand more subs, maybe a few months more down the line. Before the video ends, quick shout out to my boy Noah. He's balling out of control at General Electric right now, so big respect. Wouldn't be possible without him. And yeah, now it's time to conclude the video. So like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new as always. Thank you guys so much for watching as always, and I will see you next time.